Still with me is my criminal defense attorney, Daryl, not mine actually, but Daryl Cohen, who's a defense attorney, and from San Diego courthouse out in front is attorney Alex Ozols. Thank you guys for being with me. Alex, I'm going to go to you first. We just heard the testimony of Christina Garvey. She's the friend of Jane Doe number 2. She is the person that Jane Doe number 2 confided in about the rape the next day and urged Jane Doe number 2 to go to the police and make a report, even though Jane Doe number 2 did not want to. How damning do you think that is to the defense?
I think it's good that she made this statement. I mean, one problem that we always have, or that the prosecutors always have, is to find this corroboration and to find this corroborating individual. Defense attorneys will always say, well, you didn't tell anyone, did you? You know, you didn't tell the police, you didn't tell a friend, did you text a friend, did you email a friend? Here they have someone here who's willing to say, yeah, they told me. And, you know, although there may be a bias to it, and although they may be someone that knows them and it's a friend, it does resonate with the jury, and it shows the jury, hey, you know, we have other witnesses to corroborate this story.
Excellent point. Yes, Alex, my very thoughts as well. Daryl, let me come to you. She testifies that, yes, she told me about this rape. She even describes her behavior. She was a little off, a little quiet. She's typically quiet, but she seemed worried. She's giving the jury a glimpse into what Jane Doe number 2's behavior was like after this alleged rape happened, and then encouraged her to go to the police. She might not have gone. How strong of a cross-examination can the defense have with this type of a witness when, just like Alex said, typically they want to ask why the individual didn't go to the police? Why didn't you tell a friend? Why didn't you tell anyone about this? Since they can't do that with this individual, what do you think they're going to do on cross?
I'll tell you what they should do, in my view. No questions, Your Honor.
Yeah.
But if they don't do that, then they've got to be very gentle, because this woman is a perfect outcry witness. Who does a victim talk to? Not a stranger. Very reticent to go to the police, but if you're going to talk to anyone, you talk to one of your best friends to say, this happened to me. I would be very, very cautious if I were the defense. Ask her 1 or 2 questions at the most and sit down.
Alex, you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, maybe you could bounce a couple questions off of her and ask her why she didn't go to the police. See how she reacts, see what her attitude's like. If she's being combative, if she's, you know, has a short answer, yeah, I mean, there's nothing to really ask her. The more you draw that out, the more it can kind of confirm that she is her friend. She took this statement, and that the statement is corroborated. So yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
Alex, I didn't get your impression or your thoughts on Jane Doe number 2's testimony, since we are talking about her testimony being corroborated by a friend. How did you feel about Jane Doe number 2's testimony?
So her tone, you know, was a little bit nonchalant the way she was talking, but I felt like it was very impactful testimony. I mean, she's going out there, and one of the strongest parts for me was when she said to the defense attorney, you know, I don't want to look at him. And the defense attorney is kind of badgering her in a way, saying, look at him. I don't think that was the best way to go. The jury's seeing this and thinking, well, now the attorneys are being aggressive as well. Maybe it's because the client's aggressive. I thought she made a lot of good points. I thought she was credible when she was talking. She told her story. There was nothing that she really got impeached on. And these are powerful witnesses. Yeah, they all have problems. And, you know, this is a homeless individual, a transient. But she told a powerful story. And if they're able to keep bringing witnesses like this on and adding up and going one witness after another, it's going to be a very tough case for the defense.
That's a good point. Daryl, okay, so we're going to hear from Jane Doe number 3. She's got some holes in her case. She can't identify. She's an elderly woman. She's in her 50s as well, 57. And she's going to be...
wait a minute. 57, elderly?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
well,
please.
You know what I mean. Come on. You know what I mean. But she's going to be testifying. She's going to need an interpreter. In terms of, we've been talking about the style of Mark Carlos. He looks like he's going to be the one that's going to be doing a lot of the crosses. So far, he's done Jane Doe 1, 2. I'm assuming he's going to do 3. Do you think they need to switch up defense attorneys? Because there is a female co-counsel sitting there. Brian Watkins gave the opening. I haven't seen much from him since then. Do you think they need to get in new blood, or should they stay consistent with Mark Carlos?
I would go new blood, But as far as the defense is concerned, and I think the prosecution as well, she's sort of a throwaway. She couldn't identify him, but it happened. So the jury starts to continue to build this case with the building blocks of the foundation. So yes, it happened. Did he do it? Maybe, possibly, probably, but it just adds to the prosecution case. Yes, I would do a definite change of counsel for this cross-examination. Absolutely.
Alex, what do you think about Mark Carlos' style so far?
Mark Carlos is a really well-known attorney in San Diego. He's very smart. He's very powerful. He's very emotional when he talks. Right now, it's not working, unfortunately. It's just not. It's coming off combative. I mean, Jane Doe number 1, he was able to impeach her. That was awesome. That was powerful. That had the moment. Jane Doe number 2, you know, he wasn't. And for him to say, look at him, you know, it's just not coming off nice to the jury. It's tough to watch. So I agree, new blood. I mean, you know, you can have a female up there, and it's a dynamic, and she can, you know, give her take and quietly and calmly talk to the alleged victims in these cases and see what they have to say. But unfortunately, on the last Jane Doe, it just wasn't working for Mark Carlos. So something's got to change to try and bring the momentum back to the defense.
You know, you bring up a good point. It was really tense between Jane Doe number 1 and Mark Carlos. It was tense with Jane Doe number 2 and Mark Carlos. How do you feel it's going to go with Jane Doe number 3, given the fact that she's going to need an interpreter? So he's not necessarily he's not directing the questions to her exactly and expecting her to respond to him. She's got to respond to an interpreter, and the interpreter is going to be responding to Mark Carlos. Do you think that will kind of ease some of that tension?
Yeah, so I've done a ton of trials where the interpreter is involved, and it makes a huge difference. They can basically, you know, over and over again, the witness can say, I'm sorry, can you translate that again, or can you say that again? It really slows it down. It really takes the punch away from these big moments, and it makes a difference. So, you know, when you're watching today, you can see it'll make a difference with the interpreter. There'll be times where they, you know, if they don't know how to answer a question, they may just divert to, can you say that again, or I didn't understand. And it does take a big blow out of the defense. The defense is trying to be upbeat and catch them on things and try and question them and catch them on quick remarks. It's a lot harder when there's an interpreter, yeah.
Alex, thank you so much. Daryl, thank you.